Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your August 2022 general reading. We are looking at the first half of August from the 1st through the 15th, and this reading is for the air sign of Gemini, our lovely twins. Welcome everyone. Thanks for taking the time to be here to watch this or any of the videos on my YouTube channel, for hitting that like, share, and subscribe button. Your feedback and comments, those of you who reach out for personal readings, always welcome. So, Gemini, this is for you for the first half of August 2022. If your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign is in Gemini, it's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Gemini. It's a general reading, so of course it'll resonate a little differently for everyone. If you know your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, watch all of those related videos because they can bring in additional insight and perspective into what's going on in your particular situation. And if you find that something does resonate with you enough that you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, perhaps take a deeper look at something for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. You can also get that contact info by clicking the description link. I can usually respond the same day with more information. I do offer quite a wide variety of readings, and I do readings full time. It's all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent about timely scheduling. So email me if you're interested. Okay, Gemini, let's see what the first half of August looks like for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. Okay, Gemini, we begin with the Eight of Swords. Maybe feeling helpless, feeling like you can't affect a change in something, feeling like your hands are tied. Sometimes this can be a card that represents being held back by some kind of mental limitations or ideologies. Or obligations, and that can vary. That can be anything from, your own thoughts limiting you in an unhealthy or negative way, but it can also represent sometimes you can't affect a change in a situation or do anything in a situation because you're bound by, obligations or responsibilities or, like a moral foundation of your own. So it kind of depends, that's what clarification is about. With the Eight of Swords, we have the Three of Wands. Seeing some of your results begin to pay off and feeling much more positive, hopeful, and optimistic about the future. But here it's clarifying the Eight of Swords. It feels like you can't move something isn't moving forward, and no matter what you do, you can't do it. You can't make something move forward in the future. There's not the kind of change that you're wanting, you can't make, or there isn't anything you can do to make that happen. So it's either accept it and just keep waiting for something different to happen, or basically kind of move on. But we'll see. Next, we have the Two of Cups, soulmate, kindred spirit, best friends. There's a relationship central here. Now, whether it's a romantic relationship or not, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, remains to be seen. But it's a very close union, and particularly for the reasons of learning and growth and evolving of the soul. Two of Cups is with the Tower. Unexpected events, major changes or endings coming in, either something ending or being shaken right down to the foundation so it can be rebuilt. However, it's clarifying the Two of Cups, so it's likely that this is kind of hovering, or it's an option, meaning you may see that it's headed towards that, and you may feel like there's nothing you can do to stop it because you're held back by something. We'll clarify though. The Tower just means a major event happening, typically unexpected but divinely led, to change, to make a profound, significant change by ending what something is or the way something is, so that either it can be rebuilt in the proper way, or something that you won't let go of, that Spirit says, well, we're going to kind of make that end so that you can move into a better direction. It's always for your greater good, even if it's difficult to take at the time. However, as a clarification, it likely represents that it's a union that might be headed for that, either a final complete ending because you've learned or grown, or it's gone as far as it can and you need to move on. could be transformation too, but the Tower rarely comes up for utter transformation of a relationship. It usually represents the ending, but we'll see. Next, we have the Knight of Wands. Knights represent offers and opportunities for change and the speed at which situations move. So this Knight of Wands is the Knight of Fire, a very fast-moving situation, something or someone coming in. Might be a fire sign, but this is a general reading. It can be any sign, really. With the Eight of Cups, leaving, turning your back, walking away on something which you may have thought in the beginning was going to be something magnificent, but it's turned out not to be that. So you're turning away, you're walking away, you're going to be going in search of the next card, which is the Nine of Cups, which is everything that you want, your wish fulfillment. So here, there's a walking away, a leaving towards something to find your what you want most of all, even if you don't know the terrain you're walking towards, even if you don't know what's going to happen, even if the way ahead is unclear, as it sometimes is with cards which show the moon. You know, there's not a lot of light by the moon, so you may not be sure what's happening, but you're moving away. From the bottom of the deck, well, two cards wanted to come out, so we're going to take them both. From the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Wands. Tens represent cycle endings or a cycle coming full circle or completion. The Ten of Wands is like, this burden has become too much. I'm overwhelmed. I can't carry this anymore. The Eight of Coins, the work card, something you've put a lot of work into, but I mean, if this was representing a job, which, although there is a relationship or partnership central here, it could be a job. I mean, if you just look at the Eight of Coins and the Ten of Wands on its own, this is like, I can't do this job anymore. I'm working, I'm putting all this effort into it, and I'm overwhelmed. Nothing's changing, nothing's happening. This needs to end, right? I can't keep working at this. It's like, you know, you're running, but it's like you're on some kind of treadmill and you stop and take a look around. The scenery hasn't changed. You haven't gotten anywhere, even though you're putting all this effort into it. That's kind of what this feels like. So let's clarify a bit. Let's clarify that overall energy of Eight of Coins, Ten of Wands. And for some of you, this might be related to a job, work, career path, study, something like that. And the reason that there's a relationship central here is because whatever changes happen or whatever is happening here may be affecting this relationship. So for some of you, it might be that. But there's also a relationship either going through or on the verge of going through some pretty significant changes or endings. Here, clarify overall energy, Ten of Wands, Eight of Coins. King of Swords and the Tower again. So there you are, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. It's like you're wanting in some way this Tower to happen. You're like, this can't continue. This either has to end or there has to be some utter transformation. The Empress. It is time to give birth to new things. The time is right. Clarify Eight of Swords. What do they feel trapped by or held back by or bound to? Page of Swords and Justice. It's interesting because the Page of Swords and Justice, as justice is what is right, what is equitable, what is fair, honor, truth, transparency, moral, ethical foundation. And the Page of Swords can represent somebody, I mean, sometimes he's the spy or the information gatherer of the tarot, the traditional student, but the Page of Swords can also represent somebody that is in a moral dilemma. You know, it's kind of like, an example for the Page of Swords would be in a group of people and they're all doing the wrong thing, and morally wrong thing, and you're like the only one that feels like it's wrong, and so you're like, do I stand up and say something? Do I stand up for what I believe in? You know, it feels like you're held back by the right. There's something going on that isn't right, and in order for this to move forward in a healthy way, if it's a relationship, it's, I don't know whether this is work or a relationship, because the two are kind of tied together here. It feels like there's no hope of a positive future here on the path that you're on because of your own belief systems or ideologies, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, I'll use a love and romance based relationship because that's the easiest analogy. It's like, okay, at a certain point, let's say that your moral and ethical foundation in terms of romantic relationships is, dating at a certain point, then at a certain point you get engaged and then you get married, right? And this is it's a path that you've chosen as your moral and ethical foundation, but the other person doesn't want that. And so you're like, okay, I'm stuck because I love this person. I see this as my person, but yet my own sense of the moral and ethical foundation that I have chosen kind of demands that I do this. In order to not do this, I wouldn't feel like it was right for me. This was the right path for me, not passing judgment on either one, right? So you're kind of stuck, right? So it always comes down to following whatever your truth is, and that's what Spirit's going to support for you. But it feels like you're kind of in a bit of a moral dilemma here. You're caught in between, look, I want this to be the right thing, but if you're not on the other side, the other person, the job, whatever, isn't on board with what is the right thing for me, then I either have to stay in a situation that I feel is not morally right for me, or I need to make the decision to move on. And so that's kind of like how you're stuck here. Clarify Two of Cups, the Tower. We'll clarify the Two of Cups first. Nine of Wands, yeah, being very close to the end of a very difficult journey, feeling discouraged, feeling like giving up, feeling like maybe this is time for this to end. Two of Coins, Nine of Swords, the Emperor. This is really stressed out about making a choice here with the Tower. Do I end this? And if so, what happens in the future? We have an Emperor showing up here, so there's a relevant, very masculine energy here. It might be an Aries, an older individual. Might be the other person that you're involved with, which is interesting because we have the Emperor and the Empress both here. Clarify Knight of Wands. It feels like you're struggling to make a choice that maybe it's time for this to just end once and for all. Clarify Knight of Wands. What is the Knight of Wands bringing? Coming in very quickly. The Ace of Cups. New love and romance. The Knight of Wands again. The Six of Swords, healing. A healing love coming in. The Star, the Six of Cups, the Fool, the Ace of Wands. This looks like so for some of you, this is your leaving. You're stepping off the beaten path, taking a chance, trusting in God's spirit, angels, and guides that you're doing the right thing because you're following your truth. And you're just choosing to love yourself and move on, move away from this other relationship in spite of the fact that it may be painful and difficult. But there's also a thread here. Clarify that for some of you, there's somebody else coming in that is offering something different, what you want. I mean, for a smaller portion of you, it could be this person that you're already involved with, or the situation you're already involved with, maybe coming back to, having undergone some kind of huge epiphany, but I don't see that happen very often, and I'm not feeling like it's likely. I think for some of you, you've got somebody new coming in. A healing, a more stable, reliable healing sort of love. New beginning energy here. It might be somebody that's quite different than you or quite different than your normal archetype. Page of Cups, yeah, little messages, little kind of flirting stuff, conversations. The Knight of Cups and the King of Cups here. Knight of Cups, King of Cups. Yeah, this is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. And the Knight of Cups is a pretty clear love, support driven offer. With the Ace of Cups, I mean, when I say love, support, and driven offer, this could be somebody who's actually laying all their entire heart out for you. Or it's behind there, but they're kind of asking, going out on a date, kind of fishing, seeing if you're interested in asking for a date, but they're showing up as a king, I think some of you have new love coming in. Free will, free agency, you can choose it or not choose it, right? All right, it's interesting. It's kind of a question about ending this in order to move into that. But with the Tower twice, it may be that that spirit kind of affects this ending or this transformation so they can orient you on the right path with the right person. Any advice, guidance, or final messages for Gemini? The Ace of Swords, enlightenment, seeing the truth of a situation, truth revealed. This is like a sharp shot of truth, seeing everything revealed. The Eight of Cups, again, leaving, walking away from something which is proven to be unfulfilling. The Nine of Cups and the Sun, so that you can have your wish fulfillment, what you really want, life, love, warmth, laughter, the pressures and all this Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands, heaviness being lifted up and relieved. But what precedes it, of course, is seeing the truth, seeing the reality of a situation, and turning your back on anything and everything that doesn't fit that doesn't fit your truth, what you really want. So there has to be a separation here first, and then moving forward. And I think spirits has quite a bit to do with how you're with trying to orient you on that path, because it feels like somebody is coming in quite quickly here, maybe around mid-August or the last half of August here. So, or a new offer. If this is a work situation which is affecting your relationship, then it's a new offer or opportunity coming in pretty quickly as well. Okay, Gemini, those are your messages for the first half of August. I hope that you found them, of some kind of use, or at least, food for thought, contemplation. Again, if any of this resonates with you enough that you would like to maybe peel the layers back, take a deeper look at it, reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to hear from you and to work with you. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the August mid-month readings. Stay safe and well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.